Okay, hello, and welcome to the Casady Stamps 2 podcast. I believe that I should start by talking about webcams. Specifically, that I believe all built-in webcams are focused due to the space limits. Of course, that's not a bad thing when using it for facecam, though, but when using it to film a full-on TV show, that is horrible. My brother's webcam, though, is fixed focus, and other than that, it's quite good. Okay. First things first. You know how fairly recently LogiTech bought Baltic Latvian Universal Electronics? Well, very recently, LogiTech bought StreamLabs for 1% of the company's value. There are two ways could go about. LogiTech could dump a bunch of money into it, which is more likely considering they bought it, or starve it of money. Now, yeah, it's not working to use it in the stand in the position I have seated. Ugh, can I even English tonight? Anyways, if StreamLabs got starved, it would have to find its own ad revenue outside of LogiTech, or sadly, die. Which would be more likely if it got starved. Yeah. StreamLabs is preparing for the worst to happen if it needs to. Yeah. They're preparing to adopt every single StreamLabs orphan if they have to. You, if a StreamLabs user, should probably be preparing too, but hoping for it all to turn out. Of course, StreamLabs is not your only option. StreamElements is free. I believe XSplit has a free demo version, but it's not as good as that free open source stuff, because it's completely free. However, I do have to say that it is not likely for that to happen, considering Logitech bought it, so they would have seen some worth, wouldn't they have? Wouldn't they have seen some worth? So I'd say proceed with caution. But don't be too pessimistic. Yeah. Anyways, next topic. I figured out what was causing it to go widescreen. Yeah. Fixed it now. Okay, next up on our list is the Creator Studio Classic is like having a bathroom on the left. YouTube Studio Beta, on the other hand, is like having the bathroom in multiple places. For example, the toilets behind the closet and don't always flush. Shower in your garage, and the sink on the roof. YouTube seriously needs to clean up YouTube Studio. Honestly, YouTube Studio is a mess. Also, Live Control Room is non-functional. At least for me, when I use an external encoder. And I mean, YouTube does not provide an encoder for my desktop, nor for individual games, nor would I use a native encoder on YouTube. I can't manage persistent streams regardless of whether they are active, inactive, controlled by YouTube, or controlled by an external encoder. Yeah, like I said, Live Control Room has no encoder support. And yeah, you can't manage the stream key. You cannot see the live stream regardless because of no encoder support. And you cannot change any settings because of no encoder support. And not just that, you have to go through the Live Dashboard Classic to get to it. Last time I checked. For the community, it has comments only as far as I know. There's no subscriber section, no managing moderators, banned users, a word blacklist, or approved users. Oi. And then the channel page where it has the channel standing and such, and for branding, it does not exist. You can't enable features if it does not exist. And you cannot manage branding. Analytics are very cumbersome. They take 48 hours to update, which is, sadly, intentional. They're verifying it in that time. And nowadays, it's the only way to view your analytics. It's the only way to analyze how your channel's doing. In videos, there is no HD logo, or closed captions logo, or copyright logo. Live and uploaded videos only available separately. There is no option to have them combined. Clicking will bring it to a very messy title and description editor, which, if clicking did anything in the CSC, it definitely did that. Although, personally, I would prefer it if it brought to the analytics. Okay, next I want to talk about a personal thing. Why I use XLR over USB. First off, it's more versatile. Your interface is... First of all, it's more versatile. If your interface becomes incompatible, you can just replace the interface. You don't have to replace the entire microphone. So yeah, an XLR microphone can connect to any computer. You don't have to replace the mixer either. Yeah, USB microphones have to be replaced if they become unsupported. And another thing about it being more versatile, you can use it with an amplifier, a concert hall sound system, a PA system, if a dynamic microphone, a radio broadcast building's XLR ports, a church's sound system, a ham radio setup, a portable recorder, an audio interface to connect to a PC, and much, much more. And then, monitoring is done through the interface. So you don't need to worry about your microphone having a headphone jack on it. I mean, XLR-only microphones will not have a headphone jack on them. Hybrid microphones usually do, from what I've seen. But they only work when connected through USB. It is much easier to connect multiple microphones at a time. I mean, all you need to do is make sure that your interface has multiple microphone ports. The only USB ribbon microphone model in existence is discontinued. So yeah, if you want to use a ribbon microphone, you will have to use XLR. If your preamp is crappy, you can just upgrade later on, whereas with a USB microphone, if the preamp is crappy, you have to replace the whole microphone. XLR connectors are a lot sturdier than USB connectors, especially micro USB, but mini USB, which, along with full-size USB-B, is the standard connector for USB microphones. And then you can get vintage XLR microphones. You cannot get vintage USB microphones because they just didn't exist back in that day. It's more flexible. You can use mixers, effects boxes, preamps, and more with XLR. Whereas with USB, anything of that sort is done on your computer digitally. I mean, mixers that accept USB input only have it as a pass-through. They do not control anything with the USB microphones. And then, webcam. A webcam is to a USB microphone as a DSLR is to an XLR microphone. Yeah. Most streamers use the LogiTech C920. Those who have upgraded may use the LogiTech Brio or even a DSLR, digital single lens reflex. Now, reflex is not like you touch a cactus and pull your finger away without thinking about it. It just means reflection. It uses a mirror. However, streamers with less money and an all-in-one computer or a laptop might actually use the built-in webcam, which will be fixed focus because of the space limitations. If they don't have an all-in-one or a laptop, they might get a used webcam or just go without a webcam. I mean, I got my webcam used for like $5. It's about $100 on Amazon as of now, but it soon will be unavailable. Mine is the Logitech Pro 9000 that I paid, $5 for at a garage sale in 2016. It is discontinued now, and it was discontinued then. It was introduced in 2009. It works on Mac. It is supported by Mac. It works on Windows 10. Considering how old that is, it is kind of surprising. Considering how old the webcam is, that is. Yeah, because Windows 10 is from 2015. Shows up as USB generic USB video device in OBS and slobs, and a generic USB audio device everywhere. But my PC recognizes it as the Pro 9000, unlike my second display. It was the best there was in 2009. But in 2019, it is actually pretty bad. Now, my brother's webcam, on the other hand, is Logitech C310, which he bought used off of eBay. Mine is 2 megapixels 720p. His is 5 megapixels and 720, compared to my 2 megapixel 720, which I said. It is fixed focus, whereas mine is autofocus. And then it is a little smaller than mine. Actually, it's quite a bit smaller than mine. My USB cable is on my left. His is on his right. And yeah, I do not own a DSLR, or let alone a USB video card for it. The closest thing I have to a DSLR is the Nikon Coolpix L30. As you can see, it is held together by rubber bands because the battery door is pretty weak. Yeah. It's a point-and-shoot camera. Does not have an HDMI adapter. It only has a composite, that is the ones with the yellow, white, and red RCA. Only has a composite video adapter. To connect it as a video device to the PC, it will need a composite to USB adapter. Might I add, you'll probably need something that turns the audio from mono to dual mono, basically an RCA splitter, because the adapter only has a single audio thingamajigbob plug. Composite video is analog, whereas USB is digital. Speaking of digital, digital has digit in it. Analog is not encoded. Digital is encoded in binary. Yeah, analog has many different voltages, whereas digital is just on, off, on, off, on, off. Analog used to be the standard, but digital is newer, and it is making analog disappear. XLR and jack connections may be the only analog connectors to never be replaced. I know I like to monitor myself with zero latency, which you can't do with digital headphones. You need to use the headphone jack on either your microphone or interface, depending on whether you use USB or XLR. And then the final point, I'm getting a new audio interface soon. I've already ordered it.